What's up? Hey, got a ZT 0350TS in G10 and S30V, tiger striped. So I say we check it in and then we check it out. We're not going to unbox it, clearly, because it's out of a box. But let's go ahead and take it apart and check it out. And I'm probably not going to take it completely apart, but we'll pull one side so we can see what's going on in there. So that does not fit that. How about it? Let's, I bet you this does. There we go. Yeah, let's just get one side of this off and take a look at what's in there, see if it needs to be cleaned or lubed. It's got some Loctite. That's nice. Oh, got some T6s there, I believe. All right, got to get some screwdriver bits out. So, yeah, there we go. Okay. And I think probably the main reason I want to take this off is to, hey, it's got it Loctite on this screw too. Let's get a look at what's going on in here, because this is an assisted knife. So that's probably kind of a controversy. It's amazing how many people like passionately dislike assisted knives. And I have a few, but I also have some automatics and out the fronts and switchblades and, you know, all kinds of different things going on. And so I am not one of those that dislike assisted knives. I'm totally fine with an assisted knife. And now, do you get the same, the same fidget factor? Of course not, because you don't get to drop shut the knife, and deal with the hydraulics, the smooth action, that kind of thing. So, it can be a little underwhelming there. So you can see here that this is on washers, and it's pretty greased up, like it's been greased. So wasn't sure that I would find that. I'm not sure that I'm down for the whole grease thing, but I can see here, I mean, this is the debate about taking it apart further, because on this scale, behind this scale lies the springs or spring that functions the assist. It's this spring right here. And so they've got it laying in a bed of grease. I think I'm going to pop that open so we can at least look in there and get a view. I'm just not sure that I'm going to clean that grease out of there. I mean, they've greased it up good. I think I'm going to wipe all that oil off, though, and try to maintain the grease where it's at. How about that? Because look at all this oil. Ooh. Oily, man. Oily, oily. I think there's a movie that reminds me of that. I don't know. Maybe not. Get distracted. Yeah. I mean, just to get some of that oil up out of there. What's the deal with getting the oil out of there? Well, here's the deal with the oil, is because eventually that oil works its way out of the handle from underneath the scales, and then it's in my pocket, or it's in my hand when I'm gripping the knife. And so, yeah, I'm not interested in all that. It attracts dirt, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I don't need all that going on, all that excess oil. A little bit at at the bearings on this detent ball a little bit. Wouldn't hurt my feelings. But now I'm tempted. I think I am gonna clean this. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this portion. Let me get this back in view. I am gonna clean where the washer goes, and it's not gonna have grease. It's gonna get a little bit of my special oil. Yeah. Same with this side. I'm gonna go ahead and knock out that pivot, which is captured, get my washer out of the way, and I'm gonna clean all this up. And we'll just put a dab of oil on that. There wasn't really any concerns with that action. That action was smooth, man. But all my ZTs run like that. So I didn't have any doubt that this one was going to run like that as well. All right, let's go ahead and put it back together. Keep this bus moving. So get my washer and a little drop of oil back in there. Yeah, I mean, obviously the knife needs to be lubed, but I don't want to over lube it because, like I say, all of that excess oil that was running around this scale, man, all that ends up in my pocket. It ends up in my hands. And so I'm not interested in that. There, so that's pretty simple how that goes back together. Let's go. I'm going to put one more drop of oil on that side. Okay. There's that. And okay. Great. Lost my washer. Hopefully it's in this towel. All right. Well, let's hit the delay button. Okay. It had found its way bunched up in this towel. So I knew to look there because it wasn't the first time I've ever had that happen. So, all right. Gather yourself, young man. All right. So back to blade. Nice. How about a little bit of oil? That oily stuff. I'm going to go ahead and touch that detent ball real quick too. Okay. And then comes, I better put some screws through there from the backside to hold that in. What do you think? Okay, so they went in from the other side. They went down from the top. Yes. All right, well, let's put that one in, and let's put this one in. And then we'll sandwich this together. How about that? We're going to need to get that pin into the blade. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing there, but I'm trying to capture this pin in that hole. And once I have it in there, well, then I can manipulate it. Oh, it is not wanting to cooperate. So I'm going to have to release this lock. and pivot this blade and put some down pressure on it. There we go. All right, let's try again. Sometimes you got to have 3 hands, right? Oh, that's so close. Alright, see, just going to make it difficult. There we go. Well, the blade popped up on me. Let's try that again. It's one of those, definitely you just got to be patient. And my screws are holding that backspacer, so where are we at? Right there. There. Okay. I am going to put this in real quick just to hold all that, and then I'll figure out the backspacer. Oh, that's a T6. All right. Lots of dead air in this one, huh? I mean, not all of these are a cakewalk. Some of these make you work for it. Okay, that's all good. Let's get these back 3 in, and then we can finish up. Button it up, run it through its paces. Yeah, that helped. Had me kind of kitty-womp there. All right, I am going to check this real quick, just to make sure we're correct. Yeah, we're a little loose. We're a lot loose. Look at that. Whew. About 3 turns loose. Now I think we're too tight. I mean, it's running good, but it is super tight. Yeah, there's no play in there, that's for sure. Let's see if we can back that out just a hair. Like so. Yeah, very nice. And that's on them washers, man. This thing comes out like a switchblade for sure. So one final little thing here. I'm gonna go back to these scale screws. Make sure we're plenty tight. These had Loctite on them from the factory. So, I mean, you can't argue with Loctite in your screws on a fine little piece of machinery like this. All right, so we're all lubed up, cleaned up. I'm pretty sure I was going to say tuned, but I didn't really do anything to tune it. This thing had tuned itself, or it came tuned. How about that? Okay. So, action. Let's take a hard look at this. You can deploy two ways. You can use this flipper tab on the back, or you can use the thumb studs. Now, the thumb stud, this is a strong grip, grabbing this clip, and lots of pressure up and out for sure. And it'll go, but it's not for the faint of heart. Like, that's not a little bit of pressure there. That's ouch. Yeah, you gotta want that one. There's this thumb stud on the other side, which you can change the side of this pocket clip. So I guess in essence, that would be for a left-hander. That's not going to be me either. I'm not going to be able to pull that off. And I most definitely cannot Spidey flick that. So for me, it's back here, or possibly that thumb stud. But man, you got to want that, because that's not easy. And then to close it, what I find, it's a one-hand close, but get past that initial detent. Once I meet resistance, it's small enough that I can reach up right to this spot, almost like it was designed this way, to reach up here and close it one-handed. You know, obviously you can close it two-handed, but you know, it's a one-hand knife for me. And that action, man, it rivals automatics that I have that cost an awful lot of money. So that thing just comes out. All right, so in the hand, this, I talk about this, but man, this finger guard makes this, to me, a really good self-defense knife. This thing is built like a tank. It's tough, and the grip on that is just phenomenal. Grabbing in here, this jimping here that's cut into the back of the knife, and the scales and the liners, is aggressive, and it's a perfect place for my thumb to rest. This is an incredibly strong grip right here. If I had to use this for self-defense, I would feel extremely confident with this grip. Of course, you always have this, and again, you're blocked in by that flipper tab. Just totally locked in. I don't have any fear about losing my grip on this knife and running over that blade. Not any whatsoever. So perfect for self-defense, everyday carry in that sense. This G10, it's incredibly grippy. I mean, it's almost like sandpaper. It's not like your typical G10. This stuff's on a whole nother level. Spyderco uses the same stuff. I actually got thinking about some of my Spydercos a while back, just because of the G10 on this knife. Got me thinking about them, and so I run a video on one of them. So the safety side of this one, there's a little gap here, but there's no way to contact that blade in there. And then you've got almost a full spacer. And then the tip, albeit it's close there, but I can't reach it. And that's really trying. I can't get into it. So I'd say that's safe. Let's take a look at the pocket clip. So got my thick jeans with the triple stitch seam that's been tore up by the clip of pew-pew that I carry in this pocket, but it's great for illustrating clips. So this clip here, once you breach that front edge, it fits perfect, and it runs really well. It's very grippy. It's not going to tear the pants, but it does grip. So it bites, but in a way against that G10 that really just holds it in the pants, but it's not going to damage the material. It sits relatively high, but what that affords is a great handhold pulling this out of the pocket. On the thinner material, it still locks in really well. Wearing the pants, this fits in one-handed, and wherever you put this, it's going to stay. Great tension. I personally carry right here in my back pocket, and this is a one hand in and a one hand out. The reason that I flipped to illustrate this one, because there's something unique about the size of this knife. It's a fairly heavy knife. I mean, I'm going to say that this thing's every bit of over 5 ounces. For sure it is. I mean, it's got some substance. These steel liners, all this G10, great big, heavy, thick blade stock. I mean, we're not dealing with baby materials here. This thing's got some heft to it. And because of that, I wasn't too sure what this was going to be like carrying it. Like I have another ZT that I carry, a 0308, but it's a fairly lightweight knife. This one's kind of chunky, so I was concerned. Well, there's something about the overall depth of this knife and the pocket clip that this rides high up on my hip, and when I sit down, this knife disappears. Like other knives that go deeper in the pocket, they end up being a hot spot on my rear end. Well, this one rides up high on my hip, almost like a pistol in a holster. Like, it's up there. I'm pretty impressed at how this thing disappears in my pocket. When I put it in there, I can sit down in my truck, I can sit in a chair, and it's invisible in my pocket. So I don't know that everybody's results would be that, but that's my results on it. I really like the pocket clip and where it's located on the knife in relationship to how big the knife is. It rides super well in my pocket. You'd think I was advertising for ZT, but I'm not. I don't have none of that going on, man. I'm stupid. I ain't nobody, but I can tell you that this thing rides wonderful in my pocket. So, price and availability, that's where we're at on this one. So I paid, this is an Amazon next day purchase for me. I saw it on there and I thought, you know what, that price is such that I'm going to get that knife. And so I paid $147 for this, and I got it next day. So I literally ordered it, like, I don't know, on a Tuesday afternoon, and Wednesday this thing showed up at my house before the end of the day. And so, the nice thing about Amazon too is, man, if you buy a knife from Amazon, and there'll be a link down below for this that's to my affiliate, so it doesn't cost you anymore. But if you decide to buy one and you buy it there, they give me $1, I don't know, or 50 cents or 35 cents or whatever. But if you decided to buy this knife from Amazon, now I sound like a marketing director or something, but if you did buy this and you didn't like it, you can send it back. I mean, like no questions asked, man. This thing just goes back in a box. You get a shipping label and you send it back to them. And so how can you beat that? You can try this thing. Now, I don't think you can try 100 knives like that, but I know that you could, legitimately want to buy it and then go, you know what, once I got it, I don't like it, I'm sending it back. So it's kind of an advertisement for buying knives on Amazon, but there you go. That's where I bought this one. So is it sharp? Yeah. I mean, it feels like I'm catching on something, so I don't know, maybe it's just a tiny little piece of paper I'm running with here. If I had a full piece, maybe it would just run right through it, but the blade is super sharp. And, I mean, after the video, I may go ahead and run it on a strop just to make sure I don't have a burr or something down in here that's causing me to hang up. But yeah, it came. I think there's a burr right in here somewhere. Is what's causing that. Because if I'm out on the front edge here, it wants to just run through there. So, yeah. sharp, good to go, ready to go right into the pocket. And it comes greased for that mechanism, not oiled. I did take it apart and oil it a little bit, but I got confidence the thing could go, it could probably go straight into a pocket. Anyways, it's the ZT0350 TS with the tiger stripe. $147 from Amazon next day. Thanks for watching.